And boom, and we're live. Well, good evening, and well, on this fine cold evening on the 1st of March, welcome to another edition of Life is People. And well, tonight we're going to do, I was just saying before we went live, más tranquilo, very calm tonight, porque tonight's guest is from Argentina, so excuse me, we're going to take it very slowly tonight, and we're going to see how we can find this tonight. So before I go any further,
I can get the words.
perfectos, my friend, perfectos, mi amigo. Anyway, so before we go any further, ¿cómo estás tonight, man? How you doing, my friend?
Very good. I just came from work, and this is my moment of relax and take a beer. So it's a pleasure to talk with you about anything.
Perfectos, man. Well, my first question, mi pregunta, primera pregunta is, ¿qué? Ready? ¿A quién admiras?
¿Cómo?
¿A quién admiras? Who do you admire, my friend?
Okay. A lot of people. Right now, I'm looking at a picture of David Bowie, who to me is like a master of everything that in music you need to not pay attention to what happened in this moment in history. You need to pay attention to create something that makes happy to you, and Bowie is a perfect example of that. I mean, Bowie and many others, but I listen to Bowie pretty much these days because of his death. uh, I discovered Bowie in my 15 and absorbed a lot of his, a little, of his way to um, expand the limits of what rock is, of music or performance is.
Claro.
That and well, a lot of other people, like I think I like people who doesn't stay in the same place all the time, but an exception is ACDC.
Okay.
That people
Okay.
is all the same all the time, but they say perfect thing.
Okay. Perfectos, man. I mean, eh, eh, and who in Argentina music do you admire? I ask porque I like I was greatly inspired by Los Fabulous Cadillacs.
Okay.
Ataque 77. Very nice. I used to like Ataque. Hay muchos música in Buenos Aires. So who in Argentina do you admire musically?
Argentina, I like, to me, Charlie Garcia and Los Redondos. mm, Me gusta mucho. I like new band, new. He's got like 10 years of career, but independent music is still considered new. I don't know why. It's always new, the new bands, and they got a launch career. Él mató un policía motorizado, which means he killed some uh, cop in a bike. That's the name of the band.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Perfect, man.
a lot of music. Um, in Argentina, I'm listening a lot of new music that doesn't show in the radios and the mainstream media.
Mm-hmm.
Very difficult to hear, like Delta Venus, mm, and the classic rock is Spinetta, Luis Alberto Spinetta, Pescado Rabioso, Invisible. All that bands are incredible.
Now, for people who haven't heard of Charlie Garcia,
Mm-hmm.
He is a very fascinating person. He has a lot of history. So maybe tell Rich what the history of Charlie Garcia and why he is very important, más
Okay, well,
importante.
hi, Rich. Charlie Garcia. I mean, I think if Charlie Garcia were born in some other place, like it's, maybe like Sean Lennon or something, because he in times here with dictatorship,
Mm-hmm.
he writes songs in a way that a lot of people cannot understand, but the people who is in music, the people who read, who like, who's not in all that garbage, understand perfectly clearly. And he is a composer that absorbed everything about the Beatles in all the post years. Uh, he considered himself like a thief of different, a lot of bands, and I think this is a quote from him. He says, um, a mediocre is something that steal for one person, and a genius is something to steal from everyone. And I think Charlie Garcia is a clearly example of that. And well, he passed from different uh, etapas, ages. I don't know how to say.
Eras, eras.
Oh, okay, different styles, but he's like a child prodigy. When he was 3 years old, he's playing piano in concerts. He's got absolute ear. Is some characteristic that is in a few persons in the world. Uh, he can name a note without even reading nothing. I don't know. He's a genius, really, and well, he got a troubled life. And,
Well, you got me interested. I'm looking at them right now. Some of the, I decided to look them up, and man, prolific. Quite a few songs under his belt. He has some. Looks like he has some videos I'm going to check out later on. Is there a favorite song of his that you like?
about Charlie Garcia,
Yeah.
Nos siguen pegando abajo. They keep in beating down, something like that. I don't know. O los dinosaurios, o tiene tantas.
What was the Abajo one?
¿Mm?
The one about keeping down. How did you say it? Abajo.
Nos siguen pegando abajo. Nos siguen pegando abajo.
Okay.
That's a good song.
Cool.
I mean, Rich, it's worth mentioning. I spoke to this about when I spoke before about this, but Charlie Garcia was very much related to what Miguel was just saying then about the dictatorship, and he was given some very tough talk. You know, he was a lot of repression around him, and he was very much a hero for the artist because at the time of the dictatorship, any male with long hair or it was incredible, man, and we've spoken about this before when I spoke to Santiago that, you know, many thousands of people disappeared, and it left a psychological scar on the people of Argentina. And Charlie Garcia was a hero for many muchos gente.
Yeah, absolutely. He and a few others, many others, but I think he and Luis Alberto Spinetta are the top musicians of Argentina. And Mercedes Sosa with Made Folklore, and a few others, but they are really great musicians and lyrics. How letras, escritores,
Mm-hmm.
writers.
Wow. So is this the style that you play similar music to, or what type of music do you play?
No, I'm pretty worse than Charlie Garcia.
Well, yeah,
I
as far as
absorb. Of course, I absorb a lot of things of a lot of musicians, and people say that some parts of my music remember to Charlie Garcia, but I don't know. To me, that is really compliment.
Well, I mean, where did you start your beginning is into music? Did you I mean, what was your first band? I mean, did you play drums? Did you play guitars? Did you sing? I mean, how did you get into this? How did you
Yeah.
get into music, my friend?
Well, I started playing guitar like when I was 12 because in my school we're going to we final the ciclo escolar cycle of school, and we made a trip. Uh, my parents need to pay some money, and my father offered me to instead take that trip, buy me a guitar that I can choose. So I choose the guitar, definitely. And I started to play songs from AC/DC, Ramones, Pretenders, a lot of things. And about my 15, 16, I started a band. We made covers, but I started to write a few songs. So we played in places in El Bolsón y Lago Puelo, which is uh, two towns very close together. I live in Bolsón, but Lago Puelo is near to Bolsón. I went to school to Lago Puelo, so I formed a band here, there. Um, uh, Later, I discovered that I can record all my ideas in the computer. Some friend of mine, it's called Salomar, which is a very good musician, who's living in Mar del Plata. He teach me how to write record in my computer, and I said, wow, I can make songs right here. So since that day, I love write songs right here in my room. That's the way I like to. It's like you put one drum here. I love it. It's not. I went to a studio two times in my life. I mean, it's for money, but at the same time, really enjoy to write all and write all in my room. I got my times. Is beautiful.
Well, you live in a very beautiful. El Bolson has a place in my corazón, man. I love El Bolson. I spent um, from 1999 into 2000 was I spent that night in El Bolson on a lake by the mountains in El Bolson. So it has a very special place in my heart, El
Yeah,
Bolson. But
yeah. I miss
the
sometime.
the point I'm trying to make is the question I have for you, la pregunta para vos is, El Bolson, does it inspire you, the nature? Because it's a very beautiful part of the world. Do you find that very inspiring as compared to
I
because it
think it's my yeah.
no
No,
come
it's my in my opinion. Well, I born in Bolson, so I love it, and I really have a beautiful childhood. I grew up in a forest, so that's that's good. I mean that make me really happy, and I enjoy a lot of things. Uh, But inspiring for me is more like the city, because I born in Bolson, so I make the inverse process that a lot of people do. That I'm in the city, I'm going to the forest. Well, I do exactly the opposite. So I find more inspiring in the city, and all that. And I mean, when I mean city, I mean the lowest sectors, places in the city, with all that bullshit and and hard way of living. That things are horrible but inspiring too. I mean, I like to know both sides.
Well, I found that there was a yin and a yang to El Bolson
Yeah.
because there is many Germans, many, and you drive through and everything is an Alemán. So, like you say, you have beautiful nature, but you have some dark resonances from, well, the Nazis.
Yeah. Well, a friend of mine, in his house, it was a big house. There was a rumor that it was a Nazi buried uh, down down the house. Yeah. So it was creepy.
Imagine so, but that, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's I think it was one of the very strange things about Argentina, particularly, that people who haven't been there before find hard to understand that you can drive through Argentina and you can go through German districts, Welsh districts. It has very many beautiful places in it, and it's very. My question I was trying to understand from you. You say you'd like to go to the city to get inspiration.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
I live.
Are you talking? No, are you talking Buenos Aires, or do you? Because Buenos Aires is a very intense city. So do you like to go to Buenos Aires, and if so, where in Buenos Aires do you like to play, and where do you go? I I used to find Martinez very inspirational. Martinez and most tourists go to Recoleta or they go to the Bombonera. No, Martinez was. I found the vibe in Martinez was very good. But where do you go?
I don't understand that word. What do you say? Martinez?
Martinez in Buenos Aires,
Ah,
el
Martinez,
barrio. Yes.
the neighborhood.
Sí, para mí was muy inspirado. Mi amigos viven aquí y mucho música y mucho jamming. It's perfect para mí in Buenos Aires. Para
Yeah,
vos, qué barrio?
I'm my brother Santiago, which you talk with him. He's living Núñez.
Mhm,
I'm talking about Capital Federal,
mhm.
because around Capital Federal is the conurbano bonaerense. And I'm when I came to Buenos Aires, I live in Núñez. So then I moved to Once, which is you know Once, okay, it's a commercial neighborhood. I don't know how neighborhood. Um, no neighborhood. What's the word? Uh,
It's ba-
District. I don't know.
yeah, district is more the word. Yeah, district.
Okay. Commercial, but in the night turns to something really, depressing and heavy, with all kind of thieves, prostitutes, drug dealers. It's but if you're not stupid, it's okay. If you don't put in places that where you don't supposed to go, is all right. And I lived there because that in one house there was a sala de ensayo. I don't know, a place to play music.
Yeah, session. Yeah.
Okay. So and there was a room in that same place, and a family that live in that house. So I rent that room, and I got my place to play and record and play with my band. Um, so uh, I play and record part of my last album right there. It was the place where play and ensayar. ¿Cómo se dice ensayo
In
en
session.
inglés?
Session.
Ensayo. Ensayo. ¿Cómo se dice en inglés?
Session?
Session.
Session, okay. From El Otro Show, the band, the Argentinian band El Otro Show, which he play there, and they rent that room for me, and so I spent a time playing and record my album. So time before after I moved into this apartment. But I mean, in Once, I got a lot of inspiration about how hard can be life sometimes to a lot of people, because you can watch it in the news or something, but I mean, I used to drink a bottle of wine and go walk in the 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and just talk with people, and it's not that dangerous that shows in TV. It's not dangerous really if you know where you're going. I mean, nobody. Nothing happened to me, It's like in TV they show all that crap like it's dangerous, and it's just the lowest thing in society, and you have to look at right in the eyes of those people and know that, I mean, they have a really really hard life. I mean, that touches you, and that's why I write Galaxias in Plaza Once.
And on the your last album, and the question I have for you is, ¿por qué the title Ja Ja Ja? I mean, why did you call the album Ja Ja Ja?
With H.
Claro.
I think it's like I'm going to laugh for not to cry,
Oh yeah, it's H or J A J A J A. It's ha ha ha.
Yeah, Ja Ja Ja. Well, it's just, yeah.
It's like
Right.
yeah, it's more like claro. See, I laugh about things. I noticed that when I write when I write my songs, then I noticed that there was some. I mean, I without know what I'm doing, I noticed that I'm writing about in many parts of that lyrics about love. So I mean it's difficult to express, but it's like I'm gonna laugh because I don't want to cry, something like that. And the cover, which is that mouth with the room, I mean, it's like I'm it's laughing about the comfort in a way. Ooh, something turned off.
I turned my microphone off and turned my camera off so you couldn't hear and see me sneeze.
Okay, wait, Miguel, you mentioned one of your tracks there, and you mentioned the track, and it was one of the questions I had for you really was Galaxies en Plaza Once. Now, exactly, you've spoken about that. Now, one of the tunes that I had, I was going to ask you about Galaxy, and the other one I was going to ask you was about Las Calles. Now, and tell me about the Las Inspiración para este track, Las Calles. What was the inspiration for this track?
The inspiration? Well, I think in Las Calles the inspiration was I think my girlfriend, because well, it's connected to Galaxias and Plaza Once, because one can have, I mean, I can have some attraction to all kind of bullshit. I mean, can be beer, can be cigarettes, can be even drugs, whatever. But finally, you found that there's people around you and people who loves you and people who makes you happy, and you put in a balance and say, why I'm trouble myself because of these little things. Well, that's because, you know, at the same time I'm thinking that kind of thing and say, okay, I still have people who loves me, and that's really, I mean, I think that's what's the inspiration for that song. I don't know. I mean, it's in Spanish. Maybe you don't read or understand the lyrics, but I think I'm talking about that. I don't like explain the lyrics because other people can have a different interpretation of that lyric. Well, in that lyric, really, I was talking about that.
No, this is an interesting something I have in common with you. Now, I'm going to tell a little story. Every time I got into a remisero, a taxi in Buenos Aires, every remisero driver would say to me, translate esticación, translate esticación, translata, translata. And the remisero driver every time would ask me to translate a song, whether it was David Bowie or Roxy Music or Iron Maiden, or translate for me, translate. So do you, this is one of the things that people don't understand, that you're listening to most of your music in a different idioma, a different language. So do you find that the difference between the English and the Spanish, and do you prefer to use English and Spanish to write, or do you just solamente castellano para esta canción?
I think, I mean, in rock or pop music is I think it's more easy to write in English because that music is that music is made for that language, and is the the construction of lyrics, the way they sound in English. They have in pop or rock music, they have a particular, I don't know, characteristic. But in Spanish, you have to choose really carefully the words in order to they sounds good, because it's pop and rock music is something that is English, is for English language. So if you're going to do in Spanish, you like Luis Alberto Spinetta is the best example of something that takes words to make a pop rock music, and that make it sound well, because it's more hard in Spanish, I think. But I write in Spanish. There's so many bands that here in Argentina that write in English, like Fan People or a few others, but I like to write in Spanish. I think if I write in English, I lose credibility. You know, I'm in Argentina and this is my language, so I'm gonna write in Spanish, you know.
Exactly, man. Exactamente. Now, I have to ask you about you're in a band. How difficult is it now to play music live in Argentina? Is it muy difícil? Is it fácil? Is it? I mean, tell me about how easy or difficult it must be now in Argentina to play live music is in
I don't think
2016.
I don't think right now it was difficult to play. I mean, after the tragedy of Cromagnon, I don't know if you know about that. There's a place called Cromagnon where it's set on fire, and a lot of
Mhm.
people died, like 200 people died. And after that, it was very difficult to play in any place because everybody, like, if you have a guitar, so your problem, you got problems to hear. So I don't know, I can go with a book and read poetry, and that's fine, but I had a guitar and that's a problem. That it was after Cromagnon. Now I think it's different. There's a lot of small places to play. I think the problem is the diffusion in media. I think that's a global problem for independent music. I mean, when I say independent, I don't say indie, because indie now is more like a genre. I don't know, but when I say independent, is uh, I do it all by myself, and maybe that is difficult to get a diffusion in mainstream media. I mean, there's a lot of amazing music that nobody cares about because maybe don't sells enough albums, enough, I don't know. So you got exactly the same sound in all the places, in all the radio. So here in Argentina, we got that with this change of government, it all go to hell. So there was yeah, because we got that called la- media
Mhm.
ley de medios.
Mhm.
So there was an article of that law who specifically said that in all radios, a 15% of the music in the radios should be independent music. So I think that's good to I don't know. I mean, to I don't know how to express. Es bueno para.
First
Hay
step.
mucha. It's difficult to express. I need to
Well,
use a lot of.
you can say some things in Spanish, and then between the both of us, me and Tim, we both
No,
know.
no,
Claro,
no.
claro,
Maybe,
exactly, man.
yeah. So say it in
Habla,
Spanish. If you get stuck, just say
feel
it in
free,
Spanish.
man. Do.
The point is, if you understand a little
Or,
of
I'm sorry.
Spanish.
Is it Portuguese? You're speaking Portuguese, right?
No, castellano, man.
Okay. Okay.
Habla
Bueno,
castellano, man.
ok. Nada, el punto es que está bueno. It's good for uh, all the. I mean, the discographics.
Mhm.
I don't find the word. Bueno, no importa. La cuestión es que me parece que es una excelente ley en la que los músicos pueden tener un lugar en los medios que jamás estuvo eso. O sea, nunca, nunca se le permitió al músico independiente tener un verdadero lugar en los medios porque no genera dinero. It's not make independent music not generate a
Claro.
lot of money. So I think it's good. I mean, 50%. Come on, it's not so much. It's okay, and that was a law. But now with change of government, I don't know. I mean, they. I don't know if you know about Mauricio Macri, but
Man, soy un boca fan. Man, okay, but, Miguel.
I mean, it's a horrible, es un tema horrible para tratarlo acá. Es mejor hablar de música. It's better to talk about music because that is horrible.
I have a question about some music. I looked you up on YouTube, and there's a song called Chiste. Did you work on that song or anything?
¿Cómo?
Sí.
Chiste?
No entendí.
Maybe it's not you. Maybe it's a different Miguel Molins. Are you on YouTube?
Yeah, Rich. That is
It's me. Yeah.
Okay, because I watched the song. I put you on mute, and is that your music? Or the Lex Artis?
Yeah, Lex Artis was my. I used to name my project Lex Artis because I thought maybe I made a band, so I made it, but it doesn't work. So I finally say, okay, I'm Miguel Molins.
that song was awesome. And then the video work. Who did the video work? That was trippy. I loved it.
Yeah, I select a different parts of movies and different things.
I like there's a GIF image where it has human bodies like making a torus shape. Yeah. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I select a lot of things at different.
Oh, you did the video? You made it? You made it?
I select parts. I mean,
you select the parts.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that was a lot of work. That was a lot of work. I've done some video work in the past, and that was a lot. It took a lot of time to do that video, and they did it really well.
Well, it takes more time if I make the pictures, but it's something, you know.
No, it was awesome. I liked it a lot.
Okay.
In fact, you should definitely share that video in the comment section.
Okay, thank you very much.
No, and so I mean, Miguel, I mean, you were mentioning then about how the change of government and the change of how independent music is played. Surely this is. I'll ask you. How do you feel about where we are as you know, in 2016? Do you think it's we're in good times for independent music? I mean, do you think that the solution? Do you think solutions are coming? Do you think there? How do you feel? I mean, do you feel negative or positive about the future in general?
I think I think this is the time for independent music, at least here in Argentina. I don't know. I don't know how it's in other parts of the world, but here in Argentina, this is the time of independent music. I mean, it's a particular time in history of music in Argentina. This is the time of independent music because all the conditions are. I mean, it's no record labels that care about any other thing that doesn't sell enough. So, and I work in UMI. UMI is Union of Independent Music Union. I work there, and I mean, in that place, I learn a lot because I work there. I'm not part really. What's that? Is soda? I work there, but I learn a lot about rights and things that independent bands like Los Redondos, no sé si escuchaste Los Redondos. Well, independent bands like Los Redondos don't know. I mean, those guys lose a lot of money because they don't know his rights of independent musicians. So, and I'm talking about a band who, I mean, I think it's the most important band of Argentina in rock. Talking about rock, they don't know how much money they lose, and a lot of the other things. Well, that today se están dando a conocer, o sea, se saben. En parte por por la UMI, which is in when I'm working now. So, and como te decía antes, there's a lot of small places. I mean, something is happening. The other day I go to some recital, a gig show with 4 bands, and it was a small place, and it was full of people, and the owner of the place said to me, "This is unbelievable. This is something happened with independent music right now, because it's a lot of people, and there's not one journalist of any media who cares about this. No one. And that's horrible."
That's one. Well, there is me. We're flying the flag, my man. There's some guy in Scotland flying the flag. I'm here. But
I talk a lot, right?
No, man.
Sorry.
It's good, man, because this is important, and I think it's important to reflect that the same discussions you just had there, Miguel, and you were just saying to me. I've spoken to many musicians all around the world who feel exactly the same, and it's a simple step, and I'll ask you the same question. What do you require? You as an artist, what do you require? You as a musician, what do you require? What
is required?
¿Qué requiramente? ¿Qué necesita? ¿Qué necesita? ¿Necesita dinero? ¿Necesita espacio? ¿Necesita tiempo? ¿Necesita amor? ¿Necesita? ¿Qué necesita?
No, I think as an I don't know if I use word artist, but as a musician, I got the philosophy of, if you're a musician, I mean, you have to know that you're going to suffer. I mean, you cannot pretend that people go to see you. You cannot pretend anything, because if people don't go to see you what you're playing, it's because you're not making good songs, period. I mean, if you're making a good show and you make good songs, people come to see you. And if that doesn't happen, you can blame no one. You can blame some other. You can have some trouble with this radio is only playing commercial music, but it doesn't matter. That's not the reason why somebody make music. I mean, I make music because I love it, and I can blame nobody for nothing. That's what I think.
No, exactly, man. But I think we live in times now where the barriers between the audience and the musician are starting to break, and they're starting to collapse, and that's why I feel optimistic.
To collapse?
The barriers between the musician and the audience are collapsing. They're falling. No?
Yeah. In fact, it's a funny fact that when I go to see a band, who go, and I don't know, 50 people, all that people in the audience are members of other bands. All the people. Now is that strange, but it's good. I like that.
Exactly, and this is been the drive behind what I with N99. It's been the exact drive. Is if we can get connections and then reward people, then that's simple. Muy fácil. Connect, reward. Connect, reward. Más fácil, no?
Yeah. Yeah, I love that.
Exactly, man.
How is the under in Scotland? Which bands? Which band you can name me from the underground in Scotland?
Okay, Ceiling Demons. I love the ceiling demons.
Ceiling Demons.
I will post a link. And in Scotland, Machines in Heaven.
Scotland Machines in Heaven. A ver, I'm going to search. Scotland Machines.
In Heaven.
Okay. Oh yeah, there's some videos here. Okay, I listen later.
Perfect, that's my friend. And Ceiling Demons I will put in now, man. But yeah, the point I'm thinking is that the era we are entering and now will be when we, the creative, we have the power to connect and shape the new world instead of the governments, the corporations. No more. This is our time, my friend. You know, we need to
the tools
exactly.
Right. To use this wonderful tool that is internet right, because it's also can be used in a very simplistic way, but has a lot of potential to do amazing things if you use it in a smart way.
Exactly, my man. And the great thing about not only being smart about the internet, and this is one of the things that I think we're entering the new paradigm where we can start to start to reward people directly. Like I said, you know, I like Miguel and Molins. I can pay Miguel Molins, not pay Bandcamp, not pay SoundCloud, not pay a middleman, but direct between me and you. And that is a very big advancement. You know.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's direct communication. That this only happened now. Before it was something like science fiction, and I think that's wonderful.
Speaking of paying, I was trying to tip you on that because I noticed you have a change tip at the bottom of that page. But I've used change tip I think once, you know, for tipping Bitcoin, and so I logged back in after like almost, I think it's been over a year since I last logged in. I didn't even know I had money in there. But do you use what's that?
You're talking to Tim or me?
No, I'm sorry. I'm talking to you, Miguel. A change tip on your page. I saw that you have a change tip at the bottom.
That's because of my brother. I don't know much about Bitcoin, but my brother is really a fan, and wherever you go with him, he's talking with someone about Bitcoin.
Well, I wanted to tip you some Bitcoin, but I don't see how it works right there because
I really don't know how it works.
Have your brother put a QR code in your like lower thirds or whatever that is next to your name?
You say in the YouTube video.
In the YouTube video at the bottom it says Stupid Cash, CAC.
Yeah, that was my brother because he wanted to show me something. I don't know. I don't know.
It's a good idea because I was gonna send you some Bitcoin because I really enjoyed that video.
I love the little I can understand about Bitcoin that my brother told me. I think it's fantastic.
Oh yeah, it's the easiest way for artists to get paid now is cryptocurrency, and you know better than Bitcoin in the future is going to be Safecoin because it'll be instant. You know, right now you have to wait 10 minutes to get to find out if somebody got the coin or not with Bitcoin, and in the future with Safecoin, if I send it to you within a second you have it. But you know that's a little ways in the future.
My brother told me like he was the email of the economy, and
that's right.
I think that it's something that when and I don't know if it was I don't know if that can viralize now, but I think in the future maybe it was something big.
Yeah, there's a lot of activity in Argentina. There's a lot of people putting their money into cryptocurrencies down there, for sure. I want to say there's a guy who owns a hotel. I believe it's in Argentina, and almost all of his profits he's putting into Bitcoin right now.
Yeah, there's a couple of bars, restaurants.
Yeah, yeah, and you know, that's nice, but I think the largest market cap in the future is going to be Safecoin, and then Ethereum, and then maybe a darker coin like Dash or something, and then maybe Bitcoin. I love Bitcoin, but I love the idea of being able, like if I sent you some Bitcoin right now, somebody would know I sent you Bitcoin if they knew my address and they knew your address. And with Safecoin or another dark coin, nobody, you know, we should be able to trade with each other economically without somebody else being in the middle knowing our business.
What is dark coin?
Oh well, dark coin. It's actually Dash now. They changed the name because dark coin sounds too scary, so they changed it to Dash, and they're more private than Bitcoin. But you know, I love Bitcoin though. You know, Bitcoin got it all kicked off, and so I have nothing bad to say about it.
Well, a friend of mine who put in this of Bitcoin yearly, he put something like, I don't know, $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
10,000.
And
No,
that
2
came
million.
that,
2,000. 2,000.
and that came, and then came that wave, that amazing wave that he put a restaurant.
Good. That's a smart thing to do.
But of course later, I mean,
Yeah.
that's not a safe inversion, but I think it's really good, and I hope that the future make that all the banks collapse. And that will be the future, I hope. I don't know. I really don't know nothing about the economy, but I hope that this.
Yeah. Well, you know, as long as we have an alternative, the banking industry works for certain people, but I'd prefer to keep my money under my purview.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
but,
no, I was going to say Miguel knows perfectly well, and I know this from my time living in Argentina, man. The trouble with money isn't in the banks, is what the banks did to Argentina, man. The banks fucked Argentina. Let's be real, man. Let's be real. They fucked your country. The IMF fucked your country. They've all fucked Argentina, man.
Yeah, and the same people who suffer, exactly same people. I mean, it's the half of the country. The same exact people who suffer all that, who put his money in this bank, and the banks and the politicians steal all that. I mean, that was called corralito. I don't know how we say that in English, but it's corralito. I mean, the same people now he's voting a man who is doing exactly the same thing. I mean, I get to a conclusion that there's people who doesn't want to learn, doesn't want to understand. I don't know, but that was terrible. I mean, older people killing himself in the plaza, that was horrible.
Yeah.
Well, Argentina has has that reflection, man. There's some traits in human beings that are shown mucho in Argentina. You know, there are people, like you say, who have been in power over and over, and exactly. It doesn't stop. These people just go on and on and on. It never stops.
Yeah.
This is coming, the same exact thing. This is coming for the 30s, and that is a cycle. And I don't know where that cycle stopped, but I can't believe it, really. I mean, I'm 28, but my parents, they really can't believe what is happening now. I mean, it's sad. It's really sad.
Mm-hmm. And exactly, and as we said, I mean, this is why. As much as we talk about, you know, oh great, let's make the artists rich. That's not important. The important thing about what we're standing up for right now, and the reason we we have this discussion is because, man, people think, oh well, it's Argentina, it's a long way away, don't worry about it, it never happened. That same evil manifestation comes up in Europe, it'll come up in America, and these forces, we have to. It's a difference between the negative and the positive, and it's essential, no?
Very clear. I mean, if you don't know, if you don't see it, you watch too much TV, and that's what happened to the people who vote this motherfucker. Is these people watch too much TV, and that's the explanation. I mean, the media is a monopoly, you know. That's the reason, and if you don't see it, okay, you have no critical thought.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, and it's, you know, I mean, it always upsets me because Argentina has the potential to be perfectos, no? It has the everything.
Yeah,
Argentina has everything, and a few
We have
people have stolen it all, no? A few people, poco gente, have stolen the robando todo, no?
Yeah. I mean, I watch propaganda from the 50s with Perón and all that, and I can't believe it says the same exact things that happen now. I mean, we learn. I think people, I don't know, I'm in that way. I'm not sure if I'm optimistic about. There's people who don't want to learn, and I don't know how that can change, because I mean, I talk with people and I see it. There's people who don't want to learn.
I think the way the only thing you can do is walk away from them and don't feed them. That's why I say don't feed them. If you don't want the governments and the corporations, then don't feed them with the money. They love that money. Don't feed them it. Stay away from them.
Yeah.
Okay, let's be real. You have the power. You don't have to obey their rules. Don't submit to them. You have the power inside you. And the more power you give the government and the more power you give the corporations, the less you have as a human being potential to.
I'm not saying that the previous government was great, because I'm not a
Exactly.
politician person, because I don't like that word. I don't know, but there's some facts that this is clear. You know, I mean, and that not means that I like any kind of government, but the fact that we have still governments is the proof that we can govern ourselves. Okay, that's a reflection of what we are. So if you have, you know, it was so clear. I mean, the Joker and Batman. You have to choose one of those. You have to choose one, and people choose Joker. You know, I mean, I don't know. I don't think Batman was a real option, and it was good. But if you choose, I mean, the lowest thing. I mean, that's hard.
As I said many times before,
And the change, the real change always start with one. I mean, if everybody take care about their own business and trying to be good, but the world is complicated. I mean, that's why I hate politics, because I don't understand and I get confused and I hate everything. So I write songs.
Exactly, man. Exactamente, man. So, do you have anywhere in El Bolson? Do you play live in El Bolson, or do you have to travel?
Yeah, many times. Yeah, it was great.
But is there a? I mean, that's what I'm saying. Is the for you to play in El Bolson, is that a regular basis, or is it with the Turisticos? I mean, do you play in the summertime and the winter, or is it very much if there are tourists in, then it's good to play live, but when they're not there, no.
When I was 16, 17, I play all the time, winter, summer, in all the places. But in summer, that's the time when all the people from all the world came to Bolson and Lago Pueblo, and that was a really beautiful time to play. So we play in festivals. We play in front of a lot of people, and that was beautiful. But in the all the year, you can play in small places which got their own environment right in there, and it's beautiful too. But I always find difficult to make a band. There's always trouble. So I don't know. Finally, I am just Miguel Molins, and who wants to join that is welcome.
So you are open to collaboration, no?
¿Cómo?
You're open. You enjoy collaboration with other bands.
Yeah, that was beautiful. When I play here in La Cigale, is a place here in Buenos Aires. We play with a band called Planktons. Planktons, like the little bugs. And that was amazing. I mean, I like to share always with other bands. It's so much fun, and the public of that band, and you make. I mean, that was the beautiful of what's happening right now. You go to a place where four bands play from 10 to 10 in the night to 4 or 5 in the morning, and a lot of people. You play there, and all the people who go to see the other bands see you. I mean, that's pretty much. I mean, that's better than if you go alone and play, and that's better.
So you mentioned that you record in su casa in your house, and you play. So what is the process? Do you start with a beat, or do you start with a guitar, or do you start with a vocals? I mean, what's the first step? Para
Yeah.
vos.
Sometimes I mean, when I'm sit and here and try to write something, I usually start with a drum beat, and then I play a riff in the guitar, and another a bass, a bass, but that way of making music. I mean, the best songs come in a way that is completely different. I mean, that song that really like me, that really I enjoy to write, and I think this is a good song. That came from, I don't know. I mean, I play the guitar, and boom, everything in 5 minutes. Maybe there's another songs that I start with the drum, but I think the best songs came from I don't know where, and fast.
Yes, exactly, man, and that's something I think is a truth. I think that's a truth of life, because I find that with art as well. I find, and then the next process, which I think is mass importante for us artists and creators to talk about, it's how do we find the best lifestyle and life and way of living that allows this creation to flow. And I find that we do not need stress, we do not need harassment, we need isolation, and we need time on ourselves, and we just need to be left alone and free choice. And these are the things that many outside in school, nobody teaches you this. You're not taught this in education, you're not taught in life, but it's essential for the creative. Now, I find for me, I find I'm very creative in the night time, in the night,
I love that pictures that you show me about you drawing while hearing my music. I love it. They're beautiful.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Now, I'm very much inspired, and I become very creative in the noche. Para vos, is you masquerate in a day or in the noche?
I
Oh no
think
no no.
I don't know. I think I'm a night person in a way. I like to stay awake until the I don't know 6 in the morning. But I don't really know if the great songs or maybe what I consider a good song came in a particular time. I don't know. I think that the night is more inspiring to me, but I don't know if really that songs came in a particular time.
So do you if see when you have that moment of inspiración and you have the wow, let's play. What, ¿qué pasa if este momento is in la autobus between the supermarket? And you're like, no, porque
Well,
¿dónde me mobile? Do you record on mobile or qué pasa en
¿cómo?
este momento? En este momento, para inspiración, por ejemplo, este momento is in an autobus, and oh no, porque I had this tune, but I'm on a bus, and porque no. So do you record on a
Ah,
mobile
I understand.
or?
Yeah. Me- I have this.
Perfectos, man, perfectimos.
I don't know if you see
Sí,
the
sí, sí, sí.
it's in blank there.
Hey
Well,
guys,
okay, but something happened. I mean, all of that crap that I write there, maybe I don't use it. I never use it. Okay, but there's like little quotes or something because I don't know how to write music. I mean I don't write music, so I can write ideas. Maybe I'm not that kind of guy who write the music in the cell phone. I don't like it.
hey,
So
Okay,
maybe I have
just
a
gonna say,
melody in the head.
I just wanted to
Miguel.
break in. It was really nice to meet you, Miguel. I got to bounce, but let's meet up again real soon, and maybe if you can join
Okay,
us on sessions. We do. Have you told them about sessions?
No, we're gonna get to sessions, but we have
Good.
spoken
Okay.
about it.
And then I'll talk to you again. I hope soon.
okay, okay. Now, sorry, I have to go for a beer in the bathroom. It's okay. You got
Well,
pause.
Miguel, I tell you what, man. This is a very good moment. While you're gonna do that, I mean, let's keep this a very number one podcast, and we'll finish it here, and then we'll return at some other later time.
Okay.
That's perfectos because you've done very well, my man. Muy bien para su inglés is muy impresionante, man. So
Bueno, muchas gracias. Me alegro. I really like to talk with you, and I really thanks because your time is wonderful to talk, and I hope that
uh,
we can talk
see,
soon.
but Rich was mentioning just before he left, we once a month we have a Life is People sessions where
Yeah.
we experiment live on, we play music live on air and stuff. So maybe it'd
Yeah,
be
my
great to
brother
come.
told me something about that.
So, but Miguel, I like to before we go, and like I say, I want to have you back on muy pronto, man, very soon, and we
Okay.
because there's much to talk about. But
I,
I would like to finish the podcast on one of your songs on Canción para Vos, man. So which one?
okay.
You take me, and I will play.
I choose one, and you play it.
Sí, sí.
Okay. Let me think. One of the last album. Um, Galaxias in Plaza 11.
Perfectos, man. Well, it's been like I said, it's been an absolute It's been good talking to you tonight, and say su inglés es muy impresionante. Mi castellano es más o menos, pero su inglés es muy impresionante.
Yeah, well,
So
thanks. I do what I can.
no, man. So we're going to finish tonight, man, with well, we spoke about it in the conversation, and we're going to finish with Galaxias in Plaza Once, which we spoke about, and well, like I say, for me in Scotland and all the way over there in my favorite place in the world, Elbourne, it's
Okay.
life is people, people.
Well, thank you very much, Tim.
No,
I really love talking.
perfect.
Tengo los ojos cansados, los deseos afilados. Solo necesito sentirme bien. Me da terror el vacío, pero también lo visito. Solo necesito sentirme bien. Galaxias enlazadorse, ¿quién las puede ver? Todo es mentira, ya lo debes saber. Galaxias enlazadorse, ¿quién quisiera ser? Todo es mentira, ya lo debes saber. Estoy algo confundido, abierto a tantos caminos. Solo necesito sentirme bien. Resbala a mi lado, hundiéndome en el pasado. Solo necesito sentirme bien. Galaxias enlazadorse, ¿quién las puede ver? Todo es mentira, ya lo debes saber. Galaxias enlazadorse, ¿quién quisiera ser? Todo es mentira, ya lo debes saber. Poemas que no tienen nada que decir. La luz del día trae el fin. Debe haber algo para no morirse así. No morirse así.